should probably bring my microphone over here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be. This is Cross-Examinations. I am your host, Mike S. Miller. Thank you for joining me in this daily habitual ritual of hanging out, talking about, the Bible, the faith, culture at large, where we're going in this crazy mixed up world of ours, and all that fun stuff. Today's topic, Netflix hates babies. Netflix hates babies. So, where is it? Netflix threatens to pull out of Georgia if pro-life law takes effect. Why can't people just... Anyways, we'll talk about that about halfway through the show. So if you want to get into that topic, per usual, and you are watching, say, a rerun of this, you're not watching it live, then just jump to the middle of the show if you just want to get to the topic. Otherwise, do stick around. Hit that like button as you come in. I don't even have this open. So my Mac crashes like moments before I'm supposed to start the show. Per usual, correct? And now I have to reopen everything. I hate restoring pages because I always wonder what page was crashing my Mac, or what was happening that was crashing my Mac. So let me drag this over here. I haven't even tried my coffee yet. That's how busy I am. Oh, mute that. Alright. Beep. Pop out the chat. Pop out the chat. Pop out the chat. Yeah, this is going to start a new civil war, man. It's been like a silent civil war for a while, right? The right to live versus the right to kill babies. Half the people. Wow. Anyways. What's up, Andrew J., Dark Admiral, Derek Laflamme, Comic Book Journeys, General Devereaux, Swine Dog, Xgal, I already said that. And I already said that. I am unsubscribing Netflix. Not a bad idea. Yeah, they don't seem to realize that they can boycott one state, but half of the country agrees with the state. Which means half of their customers agree with the state. It's idiocy. Anyways, we will talk about that again a little bit later. Let's pop over. What the heck? Let's see how Lone Star is doing, and then we can check out another good friend. Lone Star Solo the Soldier. Is that the best way to do it? Alright. Capture 2. Bing! Alright. Let's see. Actually, I should move that up a little bit. There. So, Lone Star Solo the Soldier still in campaign mode. I know, I did it for a whole nother month. Let's refresh. I don't know if it's moved since I just loaded this page, so it probably hasn't moved. Yeah, 130,733. It's really slowed down. My advertising has stopped, and I haven't been sending out emails. So it's interesting how you watch things like grind to a halt when you're not putting any actual. But it's like I don't have the money to be dumping hundreds of dollars a day into advertising. There's one day I put $200 worth of advertising in one day. I don't know if I got $200 worth back, but it felt like we were moving. Anyways, Solo the Soldier, and what opened today. I invited him on the show. Hopefully he will find the time to jump on before we're over. Doom Kicker, Elliot Fernandez, Doug Tenaple. Already funded within like 45 minutes. Fantastic. They're now up to $8,000 in like 9, 10, not even 2 hours. Congratulations to Elliot and Doug. But more to Elliot because, it's Elliot. I haven't even looked through his campaign yet. You guys can feel free to do that. This isn't really about that. If Elliot pops on, we'll talk about it a little bit more. But congratulations, guys. Congratulations. Especially to Elliot. I know this is a very, very important project for him. And if you guys can, go check it out. I don't mind if you open up another page while we working. Oh, he funded in 24 minutes. 24 minutes. Well, let's see. What was he aiming at? $5,000. He funded in 24 minutes. So the other hour and a half, he only made $3,000. Come on, guys. There's 31 of us in here. We can do better than that. If you're gonna back this Doom Kicker, back it through the link in my description right now, and let's see how we do in the hour we're here. I'll open that up again a little later, maybe, but right now, let's stick to the show. Hello Murdoch, Taylor Moon, Mike. A lot of times my emails go into the junk folder. Let me communicate with you here, please. This is the only way I know you can see my messages. I need to give you important message, but it's the only place I know you will see it. Here, or you can put it in the comments section. I don't know why your email would go into the junk folder. That's weird. Oh, you know what? If you message me through Indiegogo, I guarantee I'll get it. I guarantee I'll get it. I'm proud to be an American. Indeed. Indeed, indeed. Oh, choosh. Salute to abortion. No, I didn't see Michelle Wolf's salute to abortion. That's disgusting. We are not loyal to Netflix in our home. Too much trash productions. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's Hulu. There's Amazon Prime. There's, heck, if you want Disney Channel, there's Disney. There's DC. There's options. What? Do they think that... Okay, honestly, why do we want to keep getting into this topic automatically? You got to throw out the link on Twitter every couple days, Blacklist Universe. I told Billy the same. A lot of us always retweet. Oh, yeah. Well, I try to retweet, but yeah. David Murdoch, who's Ethan and who is John? I don't get blue names with the wrenches. Oh, Ethan. You mean even? The blue names with the wrenches means they're moderators, which means if you say something naughty, they can turn off your comment or remove you for 5 minutes from the chat. Oh. What type of gender is a Doom Kicker? Oh yeah, let me write that down. Honestly, I need to just leave a notebook here on my counter, on my table. Rogue. Jube. Mail. Note. Leave at front door. Alrighty, I will put that here in my little head. Alright. Support our boy Elliot, Doom Kicker. Yeah, Doom Kicker, the link is in the description. So, yes, please do. Let's come on. Let's make it happen for Elliot, but let's make it happen through our channel. 8,405, so it's gone up $400 since then. I'm gonna take all the credit. Thank you very much. Let's see, where am I going here? I am looking for a cat who's gone to the dogs, or a quack who's gone to the dogs. That's all right. So my channel. Let's go see if there are any comments from yesterday's program, which was Tornado Miracle cross-examinations. Alright, oops. Pause that. 2 comments. Comics Villain says, Idaho gozaimasu. So, as you guys know, saying Ohio is how to say good morning in Japanese. So, Ohayo gozaimasu. And yesterday I said that I'm constantly getting Idaho and Ohio confused. Hence the joke. Idaho gozaimasu. Lady Celtic Moon says, you will have to pay him if your son becomes your producer. Once I had to take vacation and I wanted away. I had problems breathing. Turns out I had 95%. This is over 15 years ago. Oh, blockage, Lady Celtic Moon. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Glad you fixed it, because 15 years, yeah, that's a long time to have that problem. All right, well, that was the topic, the questions and the comments from yesterday. Let's see. I'm going to flip over here real quick and go and just kind of tool down the old headlines way. Christian, actually, let me turn this on. You guys can see it. I'm just going to read headlines. If you guys want to delve into any of these topics, we can do that. I'll try to avoid the topic I have chosen as the topic of the day. But, yeah. Or we could do a Bible study. I've been reading Zechariah. But, boy, that is just knee-deep end times prophecy. It's, I mean, I love prophecy and everything, but it's hard to apply prophecy like that, you know, Day of the Lord, end time stuff. It's hard to apply it in a Bible study, or apply it to your life, right? As far as basic instructions before leaving Earth, Bible, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. End times. John Malin. All right, John Malin wants to read Zechariah. I don't even know if I'm ready for this myself. Let's see. King James Bible Online. Let's go to Zechariah. Go. All right. Let's share this. Do you think Ethan will fix his cover before you go to print? No. Ethan's done. Transition. Alrighty, righty. Sorry. Something out of the back of my throat. Let's see real quick. How many people are here? 52 watching now. Ladies and gentlemen, only 17 have paid your admission fees for watching this show. The admission fees are actually I haven't done it myself. You like and you share. Like and share. If you haven't done that, then I'm sorry, but you're going to have to go. Just kidding. You don't have to go, but come on, man. Come on! It's not that hard. You hit a little button. You hit a little share. You hit a little thing. It's really, really easy. Peter Mike, as agnostic, usual suspect of reiterated derailing and Mike's channel regular, I think I should cast a vote on this. It's gone downhill. All right. Zechariah, chapter 1. This is going to get weighty and confusing. I'm fairly certain. Also, this is the second to last book of the Tanakh, of the Old Testament. This is where people get the Zechariah and Malachi. This is where people get the whole idea of the angry, vengeful God of the Old Testament. Because the last messages that God leaves with the prophets before 400 years of silence is just angry stuff. Angry stuff. All right. In the 8th month, Zechariah chapter 1, verse 1. In the 8th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah, the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo, the prophet, saying, The Lord hath been sore displeased with your fathers. Oof. Not a good place to start. Therefore say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts. Okay, and this is kind of the thing. When a prophet says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts," he is speaking the words of God. And this is where, if stuff doesn't come to pass, you're supposed to stone him to death, right? This is like these are the qualifications for being a prophet of God. If what you say is wrong, or if you misrepresent what God says, even if you are a prophet of God, right? There was a case, I don't remember which one the prophet was, but he misrepresented what, like, he said God was going to do, or what God told him to do. He didn't do what God told him to do, and so I think a lion ate him. And then another prophet of God came and gathered his bones. I can't remember the story, but yeah, it's very, very strict rules here when you're a prophet or claiming to be a prophet. Not the kind of thing you go into lightly. And if you're gonna, you do what God tells you. All right. So, anyways, thus saith the Lord of hosts, turn ye unto me, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will turn unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. You hear that?
I heard it.
That's his pleading, Elliot. That's his pleading. God is pleading with his people. I want to be with you, but you have to choose to be with me. Will you make that decision, Elliot?
Yes.
Right on. All right. We're going through Zechariah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was in a powwow.
Your powwow. Your powwow.
Yeah.
By the way, I think I'm making you lots and lots of money here. So let's check Doom Kickers again. Remember, guys, if you're going to back Doom Kickers, you do it right now through my link so that Elliot can see what a great and powerful YouTuber I am.
The great and... Whoa. It is a lot.
Boom.
Wow.
Boom. 86.55. There you
Holy mackerel. Thank you, guys, so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, boy. And we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll see how it does against Zechariah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely.
I will turn unto you. I love this pleading. I will turn unto you. That's a promise. Because, God says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Anything else is evil. Right. Saith the Lord of hosts, be ye not as your fathers, unto whom the former prophets have cried, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, turn ye now from your evil ways and from your evil doings. But they did not hear, nor hearken unto me, saith the Lord. Your fathers, where are they? And the prophets, do they live forever? But my words and my statutes, which I commanded my servants the prophets, did they not take hold of your fathers? And they returned and said, like as the Lord of hosts thought to do unto us, according to our ways and according to our doings, so hath he dealt with us. Upon the 24th day of the 11th month, which is the month Sabbat, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah, the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo the prophet, saying. Now, this is important. Very often, prophets will nail down the exact day that they're speaking their prophecies, because you have to put, when you're speaking the future in advance, it's important to denote exactly what day you're saying it, right? Because a lot of these prophecies, they have specific timelines, right? Like the Babylonian prophecy was like 70 years, right? There's another prophecy that was 40 years. The Ezekiel's prophecy about the nations was it 420 years? 490 years? 490 years, I think.
I'm not that sharp. I'm not that sharp in the dates.
Okay. But anyways, they put a starting point so that if there's a specific number of days or years in a prophecy, you have to have a starting point to get to the ending point, right? So, at any rate, I was saying earlier that Zechariah and Malachi are the two last books of the Old Testament, and therefore this is kind of where you get the whole angry God motif of the Old Testament, because he really leaves him in a bad spot, or they left him in a bad spot, and then God was silent for 400 years until John the Baptist. No comment?
No, I'm listening.
Oh. Okay.
Powerful. I'm just like, I'm soaking it in. Soaking it in.
Hey, Alejandro's Mirabal is in the chat. What's up, guys?
Yeah. Trying to say hi to everybody over there.
You took my phone already.
Yeah, man. Why do you think it is that is it because the timing issues? Is it a matter of like a representation of cycles? That there's a beginning and an end? Is that like a normal theme? Do you think that that's something he's promoting in general as it relates to things from the future?
No, I think, okay, I used the example yesterday. I went through the whole prophecy. You know, the prophecy of Ezekiel nailing down exactly when Israel would become a nation again in 1948. You know that prophecy?
Yeah.
Okay, well, in that case, he gave a specific date, right? He gave, I think, I didn't read it yesterday because it's been a while, but I think it was the date that he said that the date Cyrus will declare or order the rebuilding of the temple and the city. I think that was it. Anyways, it had a specific starting point in time, right? And the prophecy was a specific number of years, which breaks down to a specific number of days, and therefore, from that starting point to the end point of the prophecy, you had to pin it down on the map, on the timeline, right? Otherwise, it just becomes vague, and that's how mathematically precise God was about his prophecy. I think as far as in general, that's sort of how the prophets like nailed down when their prophecies are spoken, so that you understand they're not reading history, they're foretelling history.
You know. Yeah, and also it brings credibility to the prophecy itself, when they are able to detect the beginning and then also the end, that this was genuine. It's not there's no doubt that happened, and that was a specific specific recording of what would happen, so that when they saw it, it's just like when the prophecies of Jesus out of Isaiah, when you see that, you know it because it happened, and then it had its fulfillment, and then you keep rolling.
Yep.
So you can look back at that, almost like the stones, the wall altars that the Abraham built or whatever, that they were meant to go look back at that too. So it's not an ongoing thing, but a thing that you can say, yes, this happened, and it was
a record,
sure.
Yeah, a record.
Yeah.
Amen. Truth. No. Okay, I saw by night. Zechariah chapter 1, verse 8. I saw by night, and behold, a man riding upon a red horse. Does this sound familiar? And he stood among the myrtle trees that were in the bottom. And behind him were there red horses, speckled and white. Then I said, O my Lord, what are these? And the angel that talked with me said unto me, I will show thee what these be. And the man that stood among the myrtle trees answered and said, These are they whom the Lord hath sent to walk to and fro through the earth. And they answered the angel of the Lord that stood among the myrtle trees, and said, We have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sitteth still, and is at rest. Then the angel of the Lord answered and said, O Lord of hosts, how long wilt thou not have mercy on Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, against which thou hast had indignation these 70 years? So 70 years. I'd have to look at this on a timeline. Was this after Was it this at the end of the Babylonian captivity? Hold on, it just told us when it was. I didn't. This is why you should pay attention. The second year of Darius came the world of the prophet of the Lord. Oh, okay. So this is Darius. Yeah, Darius is the one that sent the Jews away. So this was toward the end of their captivity. So, all right, right on. All right, yeah. So the 70 years, and they're saying how long will this last? And so this must have been written right before Darius actually set them free. And the Lord answered the angel and talked with me with good words and comfortable words. So the angel that communed with me said unto me, Cry thou, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. Therefore thus saith the Lord, I am returned to Jerusalem with mercies, my house shall be built in it, saith the Lord of hosts, and a line shall be stretched forth upon Jerusalem. Okay, so this right here was, gosh, I'd have to read the whole thing, but if I'm reading this correctly, this is God saying, my house shall be built in it. And then Cyrus, apparently, again, if I'm reading this correctly, they are still in captivity when Zechariah is reading this. And then Cyrus is the one who sets them free and orders them to rebuild the temple. So this would have been a prophecy that was not maybe immediately, but historically it would have been immediately fulfilled. My house shall be built in it. Cry yet, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, my cities through prosperity shall yet be spread abroad, and the Lord shall yet comfort Zion, and shall yet choose Jerusalem. So yeah, the city and the temple was ordered rebuilt by Cyrus. So that's cool.
That's cool.
Well, I mean, it's cool because I was saying that, the requirement for being a prophet is that your prophecies are 100% accurate. Otherwise, they kill you.
Right.
And sometimes God will kill you if you misspeak for him. I mean, think about Moses. God didn't kill Moses, but he refused to let him enter the promised land for misrepresenting what God told him to do. Right? God said, lay your hand. Or no, God said, speak to the rock. And Moses hit the rock with his staff. And God's like, meh. You don't get to go to the promised land.
Yeah.
He was a little less harsh with Moses, but
Well, it's partly related to the I've always seen it this way too. It's if God's chosen to use these things as representations of himself, in that particular case a very specific representation, and you misspeak, it casts doubt on the hearers that God would be truthful,
and a false message.
Right. So it's always about his integrity. It's always about his honor. Every single thing that is ever expressed. It's funny. At the end of the day, you can almost kind of sum up all of Scripture that way. It's about the honor of God and representing him properly. I always think about when Paul says, wives, submit to your husbands, and husbands, love your wives like Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her and wash her in the word. And then parents, don't incite your children to anger. Children, obey your parents. It's almost as though in every station of life you somehow represent a picture of the relationship between God and his people. And it gives us an opportunity in any way, whether you're a preacher or not, or a pastor or not, or an evangelist or anything, you in your own way, in many ways, God's showing pictures of himself throughout civilization. And we have an opportunity to either engage in that or dismiss it.
Yeah, you are the only Bible some people will ever read.
Yeah. That's powerful stuff.
Yeah. Five more scriptures here. Cry yet, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, my cities through prosperity shall yet be spread abroad, and the Lord shall yet comfort Zion, and shall yet choose Jerusalem. I already read that. And then I lifted up mine eyes and saw, and behold, 4 horns. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, What be these? And he answered me, These are the horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. And the Lord showed me 4 carpenters. Then I said, What come these to do? And he spake, saying, These are the horns which have scattered Judah, and that no man did lift up his head, but these are come to fray them, to cast the horns of the Gentiles, which lifted up their horn over the land of Judah to scatter it. So, for those who don't know, horn in biblical terminology or prophetic terminology, whatever, is like a leader or a king, or a kingdom, maybe, right?
Do you think it's related to the like a war horn?
Oh, that's entirely possible. That's entirely
That,
possible.
yeah, I don't know. The prophecy is not my expertise at all, but
Yeah. Well,
and I
in Revelation, you have there were the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, right?
hmm hmm
Well, 7 heads are 7 nations. 10 horns are 10
right,
kings. So if you add up the nations of Assyria, Medo-Persia, Egypt, Greece, blah blah blah, you add them up, but then Greece was broken up into 4 kingdoms, so that one nation had 4 horns, right? And that makes 10. And these are the different nations that had dominated Israel over the course of its history.
mm
7 horns and 7 crowns. 7 horns and 7 crowns. Is it 7 horns or 10? Anyways, I know I might be doing the math wrong, but let's check in really quick again. Remember, people, if you're gonna back Doom Kicker, you back it now, and you back it through my link, because I want Elliot to see all of his money coming from me.
You gotta show me how to look at those. I don't know how to look at the analytics.
89.25. So you've almost gone up $1,000 since I started,
Woo!
which
Ooh,
is
child.
not too shabby. All
Thank
right,
you, Mike.
let's
Appreciate that.
close this out. Actually, here, why don't we take a brief 5-minute commercial break? And Elliot, why don't you tell us all about Doom Kicker while
Oh
I
man,
flip through the images?
I would love to. So, Doom Kicker, it's a project that I've been working on with Doug TeNapel. We've been uh, it was a story he had written and intended for a television series some years back, and it was kind of like an opportunity we had to kind of work on some ideas together. So that's like the behind the scenes, behind the music story. But what Doom Kicker is about this is a how did I put it? He's kind of a not a loser, but he's a frustrated security guard. He wants to be like his father. His hero is his father, who was the sheriff of this town that he lives in. And but for a variety of reasons, he can't be a sheriff in that town. So he settles and for this mundane life, but he stumbles upon some sort of weird situation in the town. Some kind of there's a conspiracy happening in the town, and the sheriff is the current sheriff is at the center of the whole thing. And so he embarks on this supernatural adventure to save the world and possibly, or rather, save the town and possibly save the world. And so,
So, if I had to boil it down, this is Paul Blart meets Stranger Things.
yeah, well, it's sorta, except he's not as foolish as Paul Blart. He's not that kind of character. He's a little more
All
stoic
right,
than.
so it's Jaws meets
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
Yeah. I'll take that. Yeah,
I like
yeah.
Paul Blart better.
Paul Blart, more. Yeah.
It's your good Sheriff Brody.
I'll tell you that the fun part about this project for me has been so far, and I'm uh, Doug gave me a very Marvel styled plot,
Mm-hmm.
some specific points that he wanted to hit, some notes and beats that he wanted to make, and I've had an opportunity to kind of go through, and I'm starting to add to it as well. So it's been kind of exciting. And obviously, Doug is a smarter guy than me as far as this stuff goes. So it's given me opportunity to really kind of learn from someone like him and kind of at least learn why he does what he does, and then see what I can adapt from there. But it's been really exciting. Creating the characters has been fun. A lot of you kind of probably remember the very beginning. I had different designs for all these characters, and little by little, through it was very what's the word, organic. But we've been just little by little, just kind of redeveloping that whole world to try to make it as unique as possible. And hopefully, some of these things you've never really seen before, or at least not this way. So we have a couple of twists and turns in there too. So we're excited for that as well.
Why have you not asked me to do an alternate cover?
Because I'm not sure about that yet. That's what we were supposed to talk about behind the when I
doors.
tried to call you. It's mostly to figure out how to make that work, and then the next question would have been to do how to get the covers done. But right now, I mean, it's doing well. I like to see it get better so I can afford to pay all the artists to do those special things.
It's been 2 hours and 20 minutes, and you're at like $9,000. Relax.
Yeah, yeah.
You can relax. I think you're on a good trajectory.
I hope so. You know, I look at this stuff and I'm like, oh man, I'm constantly like, oh, is this some sort of joke? Is this a cosmic joke? But I'm grateful for what it's done, man.
Holy crap.
It funded in 25 minutes, less than 20 minutes. That was fantastic, So, and that's from the fans. They're fantastic, and they're very excited. They've been excited for months, right? Because I've been talking about the thing for a while.
Yep.
So I'm very grateful to all of you guys for coming in, participating, and getting ready to do.
Malin says, "Don't relax, push."
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I'm just talking about your stress levels. Your stress levels, you're gonna do fine. Yes, push. You should be constantly pushing. Since you can't stream on YouTube, you need to be on my channel or Doug's channel or Ethan's channel constantly as much as possible. Cecil, you gotta have Elliot on. But that's enough of our commercial break. We're gonna go into this ridiculous topic of the day, that Netflix hates babies.
You've got the most fun titles.
So, Netflix threatens to pull out of Georgia if pro-life law takes effect. Now, just going into this, I will repeat what I said earlier. Netflix, Georgia is one state. Right?
Right.
Pro-lifers are half of your audience, you freaking business idiots. I mean, how stupid can you get? You wanna battle one state by pissing off half of the people that pay your bills. This is gonna lose Netflix so much money. This is a total, this is like, what have we been saying for a year now or more off of YouTube? Get woke, go broke.
Yeah.
This is exactly that. You freaking
It's like an
idiots.
Uber signal.
Yeah, Malin, back to abortion. I don't know why this is every day it's in the news, and now it's crossing over into pop culture. This is just our culture, our pop culture, our entertainment, and now it's I'm just going to read it. We can discuss it. Malin is really sick of the abortion topic. I'm really sick of the abortion topic. But it's always grinding, man. It's always out there. Anyways, let me read this. Netflix on Tuesday became the first major Hollywood studio to speak out against Georgia's pro-life heartbeat law, warning it may move its productions out of the state if the law goes into effect. That sucks, because I know somebody from Georgia who's going to have a meeting with Netflix next month. The law signed by Georgia Governor Brian Kemp bans abortion after an unborn baby's heartbeat is detected. We have many women working on productions in Georgia whose rights, along with the millions of others, will be severely restricted by this law, Ted Sarandos, Netflix chief content officer, told Variety. is why we will work with the ACLU and others to fight it in court. Given the legislation has not yet been implemented, we'll continue to film there while also supporting partners and artists who choose not to. Should it ever come into it, we'd rethink our entire investment in Georgia. I get the feeling...
The Georgia thing's because they get tax breaks in Georgia, right?
Do they? I imagine.
That's why they film so much, like The Walking Dead. It's kind of like Florida. Florida has a lot of tax breaks for businesses like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know Hollywood is bleeding production. It's too expensive to do anything in California. But Netflix's statement sparked plenty of pushback on social media. Hey, look, Netflix is rabidly pro-abortion. Pro-life advocate Obianuju Ekiocha, I don't know who that is, wrote on Twitter, "It's very telling that none of these organizations protested extreme abortion infanticide laws in New York and other states." Right? Right?
They don't get to work there.
Yeah. Some Netflix subscribers said they would consider canceling. Radio host and Fox News contributor Guy Benson tweeted he would rethink Netflix subscription if abortion advocacy stands. Washington Post syndicated columnist Mark Thiessen urged Netflix to stay out of the debate. Hey, Netflix, nearly half of the country is pro-life, he wrote. Don't alienate your pro-life customers. We have lots of streaming options these days. True. We got Hulu. We got Amazon Prime. We have YouTube. I spend most of my time on YouTube. Very little, actually, on Netflix. Maybe I should just cancel it. Some, though, went ahead and canceled. Netflix has been garbage lately. Garbage tier. Trash. Jon Snow wrote. They haven't produced any good original content in at least 2 years. Been on the fence about canceling it, but because of the price, haven't because of the price. This made up my mind. Literally canceling after this tweet. I guess that's about it for that. We can discuss. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna leave Doom Kickers on. Doom Kicker. I'm gonna refresh it because I know we're over 9.
Are we over 9?
Oh, we're 25 off. 25 off. Come on, guys. If you're gonna back Doom Kicker, do it now. Do it. Do it now. The link is in the description.
Every time you do that voice, I giggle.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not genuine when they don't speak out in different other places where they don't get the same break. So it's clear that they have an investment in this particular part of the country and that they want to make their shows there. But I always feel, and then this is a broken record. I don't know if you guys have heard this type of stuff from anyone besides me, but it's weird that these companies take these stands and they do it in the sense that they, like, I feel uncomfortable using any of these shows and channels anymore. But they're going to lose customers either way. They lose customers who are either for or against the cause. I don't know. They
shouldn't be making political grandstands like this. I mean, look, it's their right to do so, right? It is their right to do so. I think until you become a publicly traded company, and right. I think Netflix is. If you are a private company and you are not beholden to anybody but your own bank account, and you want to make a political stand that you know is going to cost you half of your customers, God bless you. Left, right, center, I don't care what it is. You have that right. If you are making financial decisions for a company that is going to affect the stock price of thousands or millions of stockholders, you do no longer have that right. Unless you take like a stockholder meeting and you get a vote of the people who own your company, then you don't have the right to throw all of their money in the trash because you're pro-choice or pro-life. You don't get to make those decisions anymore. And Netflix is a publicly traded company.
It is. How can we tell if what they've lost or earned or whatever? Is there a way to
let me see. I don't know. Someone in the chat probably knows better. How can you tell what stock prices, or somebody find out if the stock prices took a hit after this asinine decision?
So it's not even just about in this particular case, the abortion issue. It's about everything that where a company comes in and decides they want to perpetuate this idea about. It's just weird when a company does it, because a company is not it's a sum of all the people that work there. Not everybody that works there thinks that way.
That's right. I guarantee you there's pro-life people working at Netflix who are like, wait, what? Boss, excuse me, boss.
Yeah. When they say Netflix, do you mean me? Because I'm on lunch.
Last Crusader says YouTube lost $60 billion. CNN lost $10 million. Washington Post in the red. It's about controlling the message. Yeah, they don't even care, it seems like.
So it's almost like a kamikaze thing, right? It's almost like
right.
Like some of the comic companies do in the comic shop. They manipulate as much space as possible to dominate the real estate, but they don't really have a lot of substance to any of their content.
Right.
It's almost like they're just throwing things away just so they can maintain ground. That's just weird.
$9,000.
Oh snap!
Shibuya.
Oh, snap!
Shibuya. But yeah, no, you're.
So it makes me wonder if is it a strategy? I wonder if did they all get together in the meeting hall somewhere? We're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Instead of the Bilderbergs, it's the Netflixes and the Gillettes of the world.
Hellstorm says stock price is down. Mark Flannel says I believe Netflix is still $8 billion in debt.
Oh, is it really?
And they raised their rates this year. No strategy. It's about preventing another MAGA 2016. Oh, give that up. That ship has sailed. Trump is the next president until 2024. And I don't know why they're even going to bother running anybody.
Well, which one of them? There's like 30 of them running.
I know. It's the fun.
Yeah. That's always hilarious. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just seems, I don't know. I never like to think that. I think historically you can look back and you read about things like the Communist Manifesto, and you learn about how these different groups were kind of preparing, and people will say, oh, that's a conspiracy. But if you kind of see where we're at, we're kind of right in step with all those type of ideas. So seems like there's a concerted effort, like they've been purposely trying to get it done. If that's the case, then I guess is that what this is, like a bunch of splinter cells in corporate America deciding we're going to take over from within and then activate all at once? Because it seems like it's happening all at once.
Well, that's the insanity. They've already taken over. They own the media.
Right.
It's just they must be apoplectic that their control of the media and of academia and of half of the government has not translated into the ability to control the country. Right?
Yeah.
And so now they have so much money, I guess they don't care about losing half of it in order to push harder on their agenda. That's not how you win hearts and minds. That is not.
Right. And then to your point, that means that you have to have all your investors in a publicly traded company to be in sync. That's just
this is why their stock's going to go down, because it's not just because people are like, my money's in Netflix and this is a very bad business decision. You've also got half of your investors going, you guys are 100% against what I believe in. I'm going to pull my money out of it. So, yeah, this is not a good place to put your money, at least for the short term. I think it's going to take a pretty big hit when enough people find out about it. And I don't know if it's like on CNN or any place else. It was on christianheadlines.com. So
definitely the idea, the concept of what's going on, it resonates though. I feel like I'm always hearing the same message though. And that's another thing. Nobody argues a different angle on these points. It's all the exact same angle. So they really are, like you said, controlling that message.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was listening to interviews with the lady that was she was the communications, I don't want to call her a czar, but she was the one that was responsible for Obama's election. And And they asked, how do you think that it was that you won the election? She says, we just worked hard to control the message, and we kept
That's right.
banging it over and over again. And that's how they did it.
That's right. And you know, that was me at the beginning of this whole Comicsgate thing when I joined. That's why I wrote the article and, you know, or the press release. What is Comicsgate? Right? Because I'm like, if we do not control the message and define what this thing is, then it's gonna become this crapshoot, or it's gonna remain this crapshoot, and the other side is going to define it for us. And I got so much pushback. That's why it's like it has. I guess saying you're Comicsgate is like saying you're a Christian, right? It means different things to different people, right? Like, I can be Comicsgate, but my definition of Comicsgate doesn't mean the same thing as someone else who says they're Comicsgate. And it's like, that's to your point. If you don't control the message, if you don't tie a bow around it and say, this is Comicsgate, the definition does the gatekeeping. But people don't want that you're gatekeeping. If you put a definition on it, you're gatekeeping. I'm like,
oh, yeah, that's what you mean.
If you don't put a definition on it, how can you say who is and who is not, or if you are or if you're not? It's like so muddy.
It's one of the problems with like anarchy. When anarchy rules, there is no rule.
Right.
There's no order. So there's no definitions. If there's no definitions, then no one can really say yay or nay, which is fine if we all agree to that. But then in that case, we've agreed to a rule that we've all agreed to no rule. You know, again, it's a complicated mess. I would rather say this is what I believe. This is who I am, and take that for what it is.
Right.
But it's
well, I can say this. According to my definition of Comicsgate, I'm Comicsgate.
Did you say you're Comicsgate?
According to my definition, yes.
Oh yeah.
As long as we're making up our own definitions, that's what I am.
All right, butterflies is Comicsgate.
Yeah.
Done.
The Joker's Comicsgate. Hey, what should we put our money into? Bitcoin? I am not giving any financial advice, but if you would like to put your money into Bitcoin, there is a link in the description to Coinbase, and if you join Coinbase there, I will get $10 worth of Bitcoin. So, I'm not giving you any financial advice, but put your money into Bitcoin. But that's not advice. That's just me talking.
I can neither confirm or deny. I've never had an opportunity to invest at that level. I don't know what it's like.
Well, if you put the link in your description and people join through that link, you get $10 worth of Bitcoin.
Hey.
That's the way PayPal started, remember?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah. PayPal used to give you $5 for every other person you could get to join PayPal.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of these things, what about what's going on over on D Live? Is that?
I don't know. It won't stream. I can't get it to stream from my Restream, and I can't even get it to. I don't know. I haven't tried direct streaming from OBS again, but I don't know. It just kind of stopped. It was working, and then it stopped working, and now I can't figure out how to make it work again.
Huh.
Uh-oh.
What?
Diversity and Cecil said, I decide who's Comicsgate. Mike, you're out. I've been kicked out of Comicsgate.
Oh, well, there you go. So now you're outside the Comicsgate. It's like
I'm gonna start Comics Fence. Comics Wall.
Yeah.
Comics Wall. I'm Comics Wall. And it's way harder to get over. So you need my permission to join me.
I'm more into comics chocolate bars. Those are fun. Yeah. So I've been I've been using it. I do streaming on there, but everyone keeps saying that it's creating challenges for their for their like they keep getting buffering and or knocked off or something like
Really?
that. I can't tell because I'm just broadcasting through Restream.
Yeah, I don't know what the flippin' deal is, and I don't have the technical expertise to figure it all out. So,
No.
I don't know. Build the comics wall. That's right. That is that's our motto.
But if you
Make
build the
comics
comic,
great again. Comics wall. Comics wall.
but if you build the comics chocolate, you can eat the wall made of
You have
chocolate.
something against walls?
Oh no, it's just I like a lot
You
of
can't
chocolate.
eat. You can't. What? That's not good for your heart. Unless you're eating dark chocolate.
Oh well, I used to eat a lot of that, but then the best chocolate is to have is the like super bitter one. Like the,
Yeah, dark chocolate. Yeah,
no,
like
the darkest, like
90% cacao.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah, that's the
at that
goods.
point, what's the point? It's no fun. Who figured that nonsense out? Who was the guy that said this is like really bitter? What if we add cocoa, some sugar to it?
Sugar too. I know, right?
Yeah,
Have you
yeah.
ever seen like how they Yeah, I know this. Perkindo says so. We're not really doing cross examinations today. We are. This is fellowship. Part of fellowship is just talking about things we care about, like
Yeah, we did it
dark
early.
chocolate. I care about dark chocolate. It's very important to me. It's my favorite kind of chocolate. I can't
I
even eat milk chocolate anymore unless it's like on a Kit Kat or something. I ugh. Milk
yeah,
chocolate
yeah.
just makes me gag.
I have the same thing. I genuinely enjoy well crafted chocolate, like gourmet stuff.
Like Lindt.
Lint is really good, but
Oh, Lindt
even
dark
better
chocolate.
stuff.
The
Everything
truffle
else.
balls. Ah.
Yeah. Those are good.
Hmm.
The problem is that it's like anything else, and once you've had that kind of that level of excellence in food, when you go back to the other stuff, it's like,
Yeah,
nah,
it's trash. It's
not
trash. It's
not so.
trash.
And it tastes manufactured, and it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't ring, it doesn't ring anything 'cause it's not sounding. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it's not that great. But then I try. Sometimes they try to put dark chocolate in their candies, and it's like, nah, I think I'll. It tastes better the way it is. It's just not as good as real chocolate, real good chocolate. So
Perkindo says cacao is evil. Whoever thought that was a replacement for chocolate should be shot. Cacao is what chocolate is made out of.
right, right,
They add sugar, they add milk to cacao to make it sweet. So cacao is your base plant seed that they turn into milk chocolate and whatever. Dark chocolate is just it's mostly cacao. Like I think what is it 70 to 90% cacao is dark chocolate. I'll
yeah.
take it 90, man. 90's it's a little bitter, but it's good. It's
It is
good.
good. It's very,
And
yeah,
it's
but
good
you
for
have to
you.
savor.
It's very high in polyphenols. It's good for your
Uh-huh.
heart. It's not poison like milk chocolate.
And lots less sugar.
A lot less sugar. That's right.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Tasty. It's so tasty.
I wonder if Jesus ever had chocolate.
That's what I'm saying. Who started that nonsense? Like, who's the guy that figured out that poison ivy is
Same
not good?
continent. Cacao's grown in Africa.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
It's let's see. Alejandro says so. Cacao is espresso and chocolate is cappuccino. Yeah, I guess
There you
so.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, Alejandro said, he didn't. How do you know Jesus never had chocolate? I don't know when chocolate was invented. Somebody look up when chocolate was invented.
Or anything for that matter. You know,
Chocolate
like
talk. I'm trying to bring it back to Jesus by asking if Jesus ever had chocolate.
I know I'm trying to say something about the
Oh,
when you.
cacao is originally from South America. Is it? I thought they had it in Africa.
Well, then he wouldn't have had it then.
Boy, it is still complete slave labor. Like not slave labor, but like down and dirty on your freaking hands. You know, cracking those when they harvest cacao. It's there's no machines harvesting cacao. You know, it's like dudes with no shirts on tromping through the forest collecting.
Ugh. Yeah.
Oh, chocolate is from all from South America. Ah, all right. Poor Jesus.
Well, let's. Well, I'm not gonna say it. This is the Book of Mormon, and he was here for a while. Had some chocolate. Why not?
Mormon Jesus had chocolate,
Possibly had.
but that's not our Jesus.
See, we brought it back to Jesus.
There we go. Wolf's milk. You add wolf's milk to chocolate, to cacao. Yeah. It's an Aztec thing. Right on. See? They had some good things going for them. The whole, murdering tens of thousands of their neighbors notwithstanding, they had chocolate.
Oh, but that was how they ended the war. And hey, we won. Have some chocolate.
Yeah, I think it's funny when people talk about how, granted, the Aztecs, the Mayans, they had these phenomenal, technologically advanced, all this stuff, but they were the Nazis of Central America. They murdered all of their warring factions. They sacrificed their enemies by literally the tens of thousands.
Right.
And they subjugated the rest of Central America to the point when 4 boatloads of Spaniards showed up. All the other tribes in Central America joined with them to take out the Aztecs. It's like, you don't think 4 boatloads of Spaniards could take over half a continent by themselves.
Was it because of technology?
It doesn't matter. There was only 4 boatloads of them.
Well,
it's not like there were 500,000 Spaniards came over. It was literally 4 boats worth of Spaniards came over, and everybody rallied with them because they thought they were gods,
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, the gods have come to free us from the Aztecs, so they all joined with them.
So that's what happened in Puerto Rico. There's a story I heard once. So I read it in a history book that it happened early on. It was recorded that they had drowned a conquistador after they had been basically the natives that were living on the island were getting subjugated or eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
And they drowned the one. They managed to drown the one, and they held him down because they weren't sure if he was going to get up and harm them. Like they thought he was a god.
Mm-hmm.
And he just stayed there and just got bloated. And they waited for I forgot how many days, and then they decided, like the Ents in Lord of the Rings, oh, he's not a god. But by then they had already been taken over. It's crazy how that happens. There's some stories. My father comes from a part of Puerto Rico on the western coast where there's a lot of it's a lot of caves and a lot of there's some artifacts that come from the Taino Indians or native to that area in the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
But they're finding a lot of Mayan stuff there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's interesting to me. I mean, some people say they must have traded, but it's because we still don't know what happened to the Mayans, right? Ultimately, they just disappeared.
I don't remember.
Yeah, they just disappeared.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. So I'm like, that's fascinating to me. Or aliens. Either way. I'll take aliens. Aliens are...
All right, let me check the time here because I need to keep this up. We are over an hour. Let's do one quick refresh on Doom Kicker. See where we're at.
Wow.
94:15. That's been a good hour.
Wowzers. Thank you guys
I think
so
you
much.
were at 8,000, like 8,015 when we started. So,
all right.
$1,400. Thanks to this cross-examinations
great
crowd. These guys love you, Elliot.
I really
they know
appreciate
where your heart is.
I hope so. Sometimes it's not in a good place. I promise you that. I'm not the best man on the planet, but I'm working on it. So thanks for being kind to a fellow.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna bow out. Elliot, stay on, and we'll have that conversation that we've been trying to have for a week.
Yes.
All right,
yes, please.
Guys. We'll be back on later, probably. So don't go far.
Word.
Hey, everybody, be good to each other. Spend some more time in your Bible. Spend some more time on your knees. Thank God for everything you have and everything He does for you. And be good to one another. Elliot, any last words?
Godspeed. And back Doom Kicker again later. Bye.
Aloha.
Aloha.